4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
This was something like the media was like going all kinds of crazy about and everything like that. You know, who's quarterback number 2? Huh? You know, and of course then the Giants. It was like the kind of like the unofficial depth chart they released, and of course they got Jaxson Dart listed as the quarterback number 2. And, you know, all kinds of speculations kind of, oh, my God, you know, coming out and everything. But it's, as of right now on the chart, right, the depth chart, official depth chart, they got Dart is quarterback number 2. Now, interesting that, you know, because, the media, you know, they're all, you know, asking all kinds of questions. And it's really kind of funny because they ask questions and Daboll doesn't answer them, right? Like they'll ask, you know, who's in charge of the scout team? I mean, who's doing a scout team? The quarterback for the other team, right? You know, who runs the other team's offense in practice? Daboll doesn't answer. Basically, doesn't answer the question. Also, Jameis Winston and Jaxson Dart were not allowed to talk to the media this week. I mean, the Giants the media wanted to talk to them because it's a big thing. Who's quarterback number 2? Is there going to be a package? Is Dart quarterback number 2? Is there going to be a package? Is Dart going to go in? Is he going to who's running the scout team and all that? So that they were not allowed to talk to the media this week. So, but the Giants got the depth chart. Jaxson Dart listed as quarterback number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see. Right? It's going to be very, very interesting to see what the Giants wind up doing. Like, do they dress all 3 quarterbacks? Do they dress all 3? Do they have 2? They dress 2. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Wilson and Dart? Is Winston going to be emergency quarterback number 3? Are they all going to be dressed? Interesting. So the Giants head coach Brian Daboll demurred on Monday when asked whether rookie Jaxson Dart or veteran Jameis Winston would be quarterback number 2 for the team's season opening game on Sunday against the Commanders. On Tuesday, the Giants listed Dart as quarterback number 2 ahead of Winston on their unofficial Week 1 depth chart. Once again, it's unofficial. Giants have been consistent that Russell Wilson will open the season as their starting quarterback. Absolutely. Dart selected number 25 in the draft, and Winston signed in free agency, split second and third team reps during training camp. As the summer progressed, most of those went to Dart. Should we read into this that Dart will be active as the backup quarterback on Sunday and Winston inactive as the emergency third quarterback, or do they all get dressed? Any roster decisions based on who's going to be in the backup or who this player is going to be will have to be out there on Sunday, Daboll said on Monday. Other depth chart takeaways. Greg Van Roten is listed as the starting right guard with Evan Neal as right guard number 2. That was expected. So basically, you know, you're not going to have the exact 5 out there that we had last season to start the season because obviously possibly Thomas. But, you know, you're looking at Runyon, right? You're looking at Michael Schmitz. You're looking at Greg Van Roten. You're looking at Illuminor. So 4 of the 5 are expected to be out there, right, for Week 1. Now, Will Thomas doesn't seem like it at this particular point in time, but who knows? But, as I said, if not, look for possibly Hudson to be starting left tackle. Giants are not tipping their hand at cornerback, listing Deontay Banks and Cordell Flott as co-starters opposite Paulson and Debo. Now, that's going to be interesting to see, too. Very interesting. When I got the TV on, it's going to be, who's going to, where's the Debo, right? Is he following anybody? And who's going to be the other cornerback on the field, right? Hopefully the announcers will say that. I know if I'm listening to the radio, right, if I'm listening to the fan or whatever, and Bob Papa's, but I can't get him down here. But if I'm listening to Bob Papa, he'll tell you who's on the field for the Giants. Banks off the field. Flott just came on the field. Giants got their nickel. I mean, Papa will tell you that. You're not going to so much get that from a national broadcast all the time. A number 3 overall pick, Carter, is listed as a backup outside linebacker, right? So the quarterbacks got Russell Wilson, Jaxson Dart, and Jameis Winston. Running back, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Devin Singletary, Cam Scatterbill. Interesting. Scatterbill's number 3. Tight ends, Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, Chris Manhertz, and Thomas Fedoni. Wide receivers, you got Malik Neighbors, and Bo Collins is his backup. Of course, wide receivers, you got Darius Slayton and Jalen Hyatt. This is backup. Then in the slot, you got Wando Robinson and you got Gunnar Olszewski. They're your 6 wide receivers. Left tackle, you got Andrew Thomas, right? And then James Hudson is his backup. So if Thomas can't go, Hudson's going to go in there. Left guard, you got Runyon Jr., Aaron Stinney, and Jake Kubas. Center, you got John Michael Schmitz, Austin Schlottman. Right guard, you got Greg Van Roten and Evan Neal. And then right tackle, you got Jermaine Illuminor and Marcus Bowe. So, interesting. It's going to be interesting because if Andrew Thomas can't go, right, you slide Hudson up there to left tackle. Where and when does Bowe come in? Like maybe the jumbo package, right? Who are they going to have? If they got, obviously they got the 5, right? If they like a short yardage kind of thing, do they bring Neal in as a 6th offensive lineman? Do they bring Bowe in as a 6th offensive lineman? Or do they just say, we're going to put Manhertz in there as 6? If they got 7 guys up there, do they Manhertz, right? They got the 5 plus Manhertz. Who's the other guy to bring in there? Right. On the defense. Defensive ends, they got Kayvon and Chauncey Golston is his backup. Outside linebacker, basically this is kind of the same thing as what Kayvon is, but the outside linebacker, they got Burns and Abdul Carter. Nose tackle, they got Dexter Lawrence and DJ Davidson, who's bulked up quite a bit. He ain't nowhere near as big as Sexy Dexy, but he's gotten bigger. Defensive tackle, they got Nacho, Roy Robertson Harris, and Darius Alexander. Inside linebackers, they got Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden, but behind Bobby Okereke, you got Darius Muasau and Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. And Chris Board is behind Micah McFadden. Now, Chris Board obviously is huge for special teams. The nickel corner is Drew Phillips. Nick Jones is his backup. Cornerback, you got Paulson Adebo and Art Green is his backup. The other cornerback is Cordell Flott / Deontay Banks, and then Art Green is his backup. So Art Green, is the backup. Well, I don't want to say backup for both because the one cornerback number 2, you got Cordell Flott and Deontay Banks. You got those 2 guys. But Art Green, is basically the backup for almost for both sides, it seems like. Then we got safeties. You got Tyler Nubin, Javon Holland, and of course, you got Dane Belton is the backup, and you got Bo Braid is the other backup. So we got 4 safeties. Special teams we got, right? Long snapper, Casey Kreider. The holder is Jamie Gillen. The punter is Jamie Gillen. Place kicker is Graham Gano. Punt returner is Gunnar Olszewski. And the backup, apparently, is Wando Robinson. It's all unofficial now, right? Kick returner, Gunnar Olszewski. Devin Singletary, Wando Robinson, and Tyrone Tracy. So we got 2 running backs are the kick returners. Now, obviously, it seems like if they got 2 kick returners back there, right, it looks like possibly we're talking Gunnar Olszewski, Devin Singletary. But, I mean, if something would have happened or whatever, they added the 4 kickoff returners they got listed here. 2 of them are running backs. But, of course, neither one is Eric Wright. And that guy, it was not a very good, they tried him back there. He just didn't pan out at all. But so Jaxson Dart can be very, very interesting. Listen to Big Blue Kickoff Live Monday through Friday. I try to listen to them every day. And Bob Papa was quite adamant. He really seemed to think there's quite possibly, right, he might have, Daboll might have a package or so or whatever. He wouldn't rule it out. Mr. Dart, right? Putting him in there, for whatever, a play or two, right? So, if Dart gets put in there, for a play here or a couple plays there, whatever like that, don't be overly surprised, because Bob Papa seems to think that that's a possibility. Now, one of the things that also that Dave's was kind of, he wants to keep everybody, especially in the preseason, he want to keep everybody on their toes, right? Like all of a sudden, the game's going along, Russell Wilson's in there, and all of a sudden, boom, he pulls Russell Wilson in. Pulls him out of the game, puts Jaxson Dart in there for one play, pulls Jaxson Dart back in there, puts him, right? There was another play where all of a sudden Dart was in there, I think it was, and apparently the headset went out, which is a total crock of crap. But apparently so. It was just like, so he's trying to make everybody stay on their toes. Well, that could also be said possibly for the other team, right? How they're kind of like, we know Russell Wilson, we know what he does. We're prepared for Russell Wilson. We're prepared. And all of a sudden, Daboll sends Jaxson Dart out there for a couple plays, right? Not only so much keeps his own players on their toes, but also keeps the other team on their toes as well, too. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see.